Hey y'all, so I am back with an update on just about everything that's been going on. I know it's been a while. For some reason, it's not that I don't want to record, it just seems like I don't really have that much to say as far as, everything with the trying to conceive journey and stuff. So it's like if I don't really have that much of an update, then I just don't really want to go through the trouble of hooking everything up. And it's also that I work long hours. Okay, so I'm up 3:30 in the morning. By the time me and my husband get home at night, it's like 7:30 p.m. So I'm definitely not gonna record on any day that I work. And then by me being on such a long schedule on my off days, I kind of sleep most of the day, so like daylight is gone. And my lighting right now, like I have the little studio lights, and it's so hard to set them up. Like I hate looking washed out on camera because like my skin is deep, like I'm like a deep chocolate, and I like prefer to look chocolate. But for some reason when I set those lights up, I just look like a ghost, and I don't really know how to do everything yet. Like I'm still learning and everything. So anyways, it's daylight right now. I'm actually up. So I don't know how you can see this. Like when I look on my computer screen, it looks pretty normal. Through the flip screen on the camera, it looked like everything's okay, but I'm not really sure how it looks. But I know you can see me, and I'm gonna update anyway, even if it looks horrible. But if it do, I'm sorry. I guess I'm gonna get a ring light or something, because it seems like that's what people are using, and I guess it's easier than figuring out all the other stuff. But anywho, so we are now in January, as a matter of fact. Happy New Year's! Oh my God, how did I forget that? Yeah, Happy New Year's, everyone. And I hope if you haven't got your BFPs yet, keep pushing. But if you have gotten them before the New Year, over the Christmas holidays and all that, then congratulations. I'm so happy for you and all of you that are waiting for it. Baby dust to you all. And so this the last update that I gave you guys, I believe, was in October. So my November cycle, I had decided like I was gonna try some new things or whatnot, like researching through other people and all that stuff. I decided to order some different like vitamins or whatever, enzymes, whatever you want to call them. So I had initially got the maca root from my husband. So this is the maca root. It's Nature's Way. I got it off of Amazon. I don't know if it's focused on here or not, but I did not take the maca root. I actually got it from my husband because I heard it says that it helps with sperm quality or whatever. And for me, I had actually got Vitex, which I was scared to get because it seemed like it said it regulate your cycles and stuff, but it also said it was something good for women to use. But I don't have any cycle issues. Like actually my cycles are normal. They're regular. When I was on Depo, for the few years I was on it, as soon as I missed my very first shot, my cycle came back like that very next month. Like it came back. So I never really had an issue with it. I was kind of skeptical about taking this because I just didn't want it to throw off something that was already okay, right? So I attempted to use that, and then also I heard about the serapeptides. So I had got the 120,000 units or whatever. I got this off Amazon too. This is the Dr. Best brand, and this was supposed to have like if you have like a potentially blocked tubes or something, it can help clear something like that. I read. Anyways, this is what happened to me, you guys. Now on top of that, I also have my little prenatals that I take from Walmart. Well, I took these pills. Like I don't know what I was thinking, but I took them for about 3 days, right? I took them for 3 days, and I had the worst migraines of a lifetime, okay? Like I had the worst migraines ever. So of course, the only thing different in my schedule, my life or whatever was these things right here. So I completely stopped taking them all together, and because my migraines were so bad, I was so scared to continue taking them, right? Even though I figured that if I start taking them again, what I'm going to do is do one thing and see how it works out, and I guess gradually put the other things in it. Because right now, by me just taking a mouthful of pills, like I don't know what's causing it, or if it's all of it. Did I shock my system all at once? I don't know, something like that. But either way, I stopped taking them, right? Okay, so that was November. That was November cycle. I took them for them little 4 days. I quit, whatever. Also, I changed that when I know I let my last video, I told you guys I was using the Dollar Tree ovulation test. I completely quit using those because I'm not that good with like having line eyes and stuff. I am not that good at those ovulation tests with the lines. Like, to me it all looks pink. Like, so I don't know when I'm ovulating. I used to think long time ago, one of my mistakes was I thought as soon as you get 2 lines you're ovulating. I didn't really notice the difference between what am I trying to say? I didn't notice the difference between the test line, control line being darker than the test line or something like that. Like, I didn't really notice the difference. I still don't notice the difference. Like, I mean, they both look pink to me. I can't really tell which one's darker, which one's not. So, anyways, never mind that. I decided to buy the, I don't know where they're at, but I bought the clear blue advanced digital ovulation test. So that way it has the smiley faces. You know, it's either an empty smiley face, which means you're not ovulating. It has a blinking smiley face that shows that displays high fertility, I believe. And then when the smiley face is steady, and then it's that's your peak fertility. You're gonna ovulate within 24, 48 hours, something like that. The smiley face stays on there for 48 hours. So that for me is way easier. Like, it, smiley face or not, okay? And that's what I can deal with. It's expensive test because I don't know where you guys are, but where I'm at, it's $30 for 10 tests. And now, you know, with testing, like, I start on like cycle day 9, or I think it depends on whatever my cycle in is, and whatever the box recommends is when I start. I didn't went through 2 cycles with those tests, and I use 9 each time. So before I got, you know, the positive, so I use 9 each time, which means it put me at buying them, you know, $30 a month basically for ovulation tests, which, because it's a 1 month supply. So yeah, whatever. So I use that, okay, and that's just easier for me. Now, okay, after my November cycle, everything was normal. It was like a normal 28-day cycle. So here I am going into the December cycle. I went ahead and contacted my doctor because I was like, you know what, I'm spending $30 on these ovulation tests. You know, this is not like the dollar cheapies or whatever, whatnot. And so I need to call him and make sure, you know, like, I want to do check my levels again as far as like my not HCG. I think that's what you call it. I'm not really sure, but you know, when they take your blood, then they check your levels to see if your estrogen is high, low, whatever, to make sure that you're ovulating. So I had called my nurse because I really wanted to know, you know, I really wanted to do the test again because I never had it done since my surgery, prior to my surgery in June, and that's when they found out I had the cyst. Because mind you, I never had any pain with the cyst that I had, so I had no idea that I even had any cyst on my ovaries or whatever. So I did call for that, okay, and she told me, well, when my next cycle start, well, right before it start or whatever, well, right after my next cycle ended, for me to go in. And so I ended up going in to get my levels checked. I know it sounds like I'm rambling, y'all, but I'm trying to remember everything since it's been so long. But so I went in, and they drew my blood, and it was pretty much on cycle day 11, I believe. It was like cycle day 11. They drew my blood, and she called me. The results came back that my estrogen level was at like 97. Okay, it was at 97. So she called me back, and when she told me that, she was like, okay, well, the doctor feel like it's still really low, but he want to check it again in a couple days. So it ended up a weekend passed. I went back like that Tuesday. They checked it that Tuesday. My levels had only rose up to like 106. And so because, you know, he still felt like it wasn't quite what it should be. Like, I should have had more of a spike. Now, in my mind, I felt like it didn't have a spike and they didn't see it because I didn't even have a positive OBK at that time. Like, I didn't ovulate until way late that cycle according to the ovulation test. I didn't get a positive until like cycle day 18. So I feel as though when they did the blood test as far as like on cycle day 13 or cycle day 11 or something like that. Like, I figured it was too early in my mind. That's what I feel it was. It was just too early, you know, to tell. So anyways, what they said that they were going to do next was he attempted to insert dye, like the little blue dye, whatever, to see if your tubes are blocked or not. He attempted to do that during my surgery, my lap surgery in June, but he said that he couldn't get it past something. Like, he couldn't get it past it because I have a tiny uterus, whatever that means. Okay, I have a tiny uterus, and he just couldn't insert it or whatever, so he was just going to do it outside of surgery. So now this is basically where I'm at. He want to do the dye or whatever, and I don't know what you call it, but it's like the blue dye test. You guys know what I'm talking about. And so I had to wait until my cycle start this month for me to go ahead and schedule that test, because they want to do that between cycle day 7 and 10 or whatever, to see if like I have any blockage in my tubes or anything like that. So I was almost excited in December. Okay, I was like, okay, well, yes, wait for my cycle to come, you know. As soon as it comes, then we can do this, so I can see, you know, what's the issue, if my tubes are potentially blocked or not, or whatever the case may be, right? So let me tell you what AF did me, okay? AF really played some real serious games on me this cycle, okay? Like, I am very regular with my cycles. My cycles are typically 27, 29 days or whatever. I might get a 30-day cycle sometimes. Not often. It's always 27, 29, something like that. So 29 days came. 30 days came. 34 days came. Okay, so now I'm at the point, you guys know I hate taking pregnancy tests because negative test depresses me, okay? So I don't like to take them. I am not a POAS addict, okay? I actually despise the pregnancy test. So I'm like, okay, well, now, you know, my husband, you know, he's all in tune with me by now because he knows what we're trying to do and everything. So he's like, you didn't get a cycle yet. Maybe you should take a test. And I'm sitting right there like, no, I'm not going to take one or whatever. So what he does, he go ahead and he buy me one anyway. So I decide, okay, for the heck of it, let me go ahead and take it. So I go ahead and take it. It's negative, of course. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm too early. Let me just wait. So cycle day 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, negative pregnancy test. And then I believe cycle day 45 or 46, AF decides to come. So, yeah, I never have I ever had a cycle that long before. And I don't know if it was just doing that just because I was like so anxious and threw my hormones on or anything. I really don't feel like none of these little enzyme things had anything to do with it, because I did that the previous cycle and my cycle had came down right after that. And mind you, I only took those things 3 days. I really don't feel like 3 days worth of that affected anything in my December cycle, because I had a November cycle, you know, after I took those, and it was pretty normal. So I don't feel like I had that much of, you know, that in my system to where it just affected my cycle. I guess it just did what it did, and I don't know why, but either way go, today is January 4th. Today is the 4th, and yeah, today's the 4th. I got my cycle on the 2nd, which was Saturday. So I called my nurse this morning and I let her know that my cycle came down or whatever, so they can schedule it for cycle day 7 through 10 or something like she wanted to. So she went ahead and set me up for cycle day 10 or 11. One of them she set me up for, which is going to be on the 11th of this month. So the only problem we have now that wasn't expressed to me before was that she was like, well, I'm going to set you up. I'm going to call radiology, speak to them, and see what they say about everything. She was like, but we're not sure if it's covered under your insurance, okay? Because it kind of leans towards fertility or whatever, right? Insurance don't cover certain things to deal with infertility, whatever the case may be. And So I wasn't prepared for that part because, like I said, my doctor told me he attempted to do it in surgery, and of course prior to surgery no one told me anything about an extra cost. So I'm assuming if he would have done it during surgery, it wouldn't have cost anything because it was already, you know, during surgery or whatever the case may be. Either way, she haven't called me back yet. I'm still waiting on that call, but she was supposed to let me know if it's covered or not. If it's not covered, the cash price I would have to pay to do the blue dye test would be $1,063. So let me see, $1,063 just to check to see if my tubes are blocked or not. I'm at the point right now to where for me it's no. My husband feels like let's do it. It's not that big of a deal. To me, yes it is. It is that big of a deal because it's one tiny procedure that either can say yay or nay, but me, I feel like we could just skip it because it's not really that necessary. My biggest issue is also my doctor still want to make sure that I actually am ovulating, which I don't know, in my mind I feel like I am. Like, I'm just saying, I don't feel like all these tests would say that I am if I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So in my mind I feel like I am ovulating, but I might not be. Either way, I think his next step was like trying maybe clone it or something, or whatever, and I can deal with that. I can deal with stuff that's more cost effective first versus going directly into something this amount. I feel like if I'm going to spend like $1,000 or something, I mean, we might as well do damn IVF or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather put money into something else that's like a chance of pregnancy versus $1,000 into seeing, you know, if something is potentially wrong. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really just I don't know. I don't really know how I feel right now about trying to conceive just situation all together because it's stressful, and I don't know what's going on in you guys' life, but in my life, my Facebook, my Instagram, everywhere I look, everybody is pregnant but me, and I'm just, everybody's pregnant. I'm so happy for everybody, but it's like maybe just right now for me it's just not meant to be, and it's like I don't want to spend $1,000 on that right now, and I just I'm not sure yet. I haven't got the call back, but I feel like if my tubes are truly blocked or something, then what I'm gonna do is just start the serapeptide, since I heard it can help potentially unblock tubes if you have that issue. So what I'm gonna do is just start these alone with the prenatals and see how it works out for me, and I'll just start with a lesser dosage and just work myself up and, you know, try that. But I'm that if we do have to do something that's like kind of drastic or whatever for us to have a kid, I prefer to save the money for that. Like, if we're just gonna just skip everything else and just go, like, you know, people skip surgery and everything and stuff, go directly into IVF, whatever the case may be, I'd rather do that and put a bulk of our money into that versus doing it on a, you know, 5-minute procedure that, you know what I'm saying, that I don't feel is really worth the $1,000 for just seeing if my tubes are blocked. Because then if they are and they're extremely blocked, can't nothing happen, then I mean, we have to do IVF, right? So it just, yeah, I just rather do that, and it's kind of the space that I'm in right now. I'm not really sure, but we shall see, you guys. So right now, you know, I mean, AF is here. I might as well drink some wine and eat chocolate chip cookies because that's kind of all I want to do is eat and sleep and, yeah, and just enjoy my cramps in peace. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. To all my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. Until next time, you guys, baby dust to everybody, tons and tons and tons of it. Happy New Year's again. I hope you guys enjoyed it with your families, and